Hello, good evening. I nearly forgot what month it is then. It's June. It's the first Monday of June, and we are going to be opening our new monthly make. I know I do sound a bit croaky, I do apologise for that. And I have got a bit of a little burnt nose there, so apologies. Yeah, just a little bit burnt. So it's Monday, so we are monthly making, and we have a new box to open. You can tell my cameras didn't want to work, and then all of a sudden they just sprung into life. So yeah, at least they're working. So yeah, new box tonight. What else I forgot to tell you? We are back on your telly boxes on next Monday at 2 and 4, I think it is, though that could change. So yeah, we are back on Hobby Maker next Monday, 2 and 4, I think. I'll have to double check. So good evening, everyone. So let me see if I can get my comments up tonight. I still haven't found my mouse, by the way. That's why it's like, takes me forever. Right, there we go. I'm not good on the old laptop keypad. Evening, Lynn. Good to see you. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Nicola. We did have a great time, but your Sundance didn't work. In fact, we got hail. That was nice for setting up in. Evening, Sean. Oh, I've lost my mouse again. Oh. There we go. Right, so good evening. Everything seems to be working. So should we have a look at what's in this rather fabulous box? I do like this one. It's something I've been wanting to design for a while. I'll let you off, Nicola. Evening, Noala. It is something I've been wanting to design for a while. I've not had... We used to have something similar, but I designed this one from scratch and I do kind of like it. So anyway, let's open this box, shall we? Oh, now I've got to move my mouse again. Hang on, bear with. I will. I did say last time I'm going to put a bounty on my mouse's head, and one of the kids can find it for me. I'm sure that'll make them find it. Anyway, oh, thank you. It is a nice little box this month. So you should all, well, I know one person has not got theirs. It's gone walk is embossed, but we'll sort that out for them. So in your box, as always, I've just realised I put my glass of water right where my lid's going to go. In your box, as always, you will have your discount code, which is just reminded me that's probably not active yet on the website. I'll get that sorted later. You have got your inspiration sheet. You have got 2 stamp sets. Let's move this out of the way. Pop that over there. So, discount card as ever. You have got your little inspiration sheet, and in there over this month we will be sharing, as always, on website, on the, well, it is on the website as well, YouTube. There'll be all those little videos with Noala's favourite music, because we know she loves that. Evening Sue, for these cards over the next few weeks. So in your kit you get 2 stamp sets. You get a texture one, which is the distressed lines. Now it looks like I've been a little bit brutal and just cut them off. I haven't. I've done that because you can then expand it. So you can link them up. These little bits are exactly the same size as these little bits. So you can make beautiful long lines. So if you're working on an 8x8 card, or I'm trying to think of your larger ones, an A5 landscape maybe, you'll be able to line this up and get it stamped out. And then you've got your main stamp set, which is this wonderful sunflower. It's called Sunflower Blue. Lost my words then. Sunflower Beauty. Now you know it's not going to be that size because it's our packaging. It is huge. Look at that. There's my hand. It's bigger than a hand. It is a big one, isn't it? DL size would be a good one as well. For matching that up to make it, because see, you need at least 2 on a DL, wouldn't you? Well, you would need 2. Evening, Mum. So you can see it's a hand size. It's huge. And then you get 2 sayings with it, which are quite powerful sayings. We're all different, and that's beautiful. And today's struggle will be tomorrow's strength. And I think that works really well with the sunflower. Mamouche. It is massive. massive, massive, massive. So you need a stamping platform, or you need a poly mount or something like that to stamp this one with, unless you want to use little bits, and then, you know, go for it. And you can also see it's got a direction because it's dripping. Other way around would look a bit odd, wouldn't it? Maybe. So that is what you get. You get your sunflower beauty, and just get your lines. I do like these lines. These will be great for quite masculine cards. Just pop a sentiment on there, jobs are good and it's done. You get your booklet and you get your little discount card. You need to make sure that is active on the website. I remembered that halfway through last week, and then, well, I don't get internet signal where we are. So I'm going to start off with some of Mum's samples now. As always, I haven't looked at these yet, so it's always exciting when I do. There you go. So she has stamped our sunflower at the top and bottom and put that lovely distressed lines in the background. Such beautiful colours, aren't they? Oh, excuse me. We do need a mini one now. That was my, do I do the mini one or do I do the big one as the monthly make? So I went big in the monthly make. So yes, absolutely, Lynn, there is a mini one coming out to go with this set as well. So you have to hold your horses on that one. It is coming, it is. So 2, and there might be one of those other things I like to do, you know, that like might be a little bit of a border. Anyway, no, not saying too much more on that one. So you can see she's just stamped half it either side, line it middle, and then a lovely little sentiment. So today's struggle will be tomorrow's strength. Do like that saying. Next one, again she stamped them off the card. So we've got them just on the side and to the bottom corner, and our lines just again in the background. This one I think she's used the pro markers on. She has indeed. Check out those colours, it looks amazing, doesn't it? So a sunflower doesn't have to be yellow. It doesn't. Be whatever colour you want it to be. As in the saying there, we are all different, and that's beautiful. So are sunflowers. Next up, got another one, DL. We were talking about DLs a minute ago. So we've got all different angles for our lines in the background, and then again she's just half stamped it, so it shows even if you're not confident enough to stamp that huge, massive, ginormous stamp, you can just stamp a little bit of it. There we go, my phone's just caught up with all the comments. So there's that one. So again, you don't have to use all of that big stamp because it is pretty big. I sized it so it would fit on an A6 though. Another one of Mum's. You can see, just look in difference in colours. Yeah, and a little bit of glossy on that one. That's quite a nice little idea, I like that. And if you notice, I have picked up the bubble wrap stamp. So if you're looking for other backgrounds to bring in, this is actually your bubble wrap stamp, just sized down a bit. Yeah, so it all works together. I try and make sure it all links into previous stuff you have got. Here's a cheeky one from Mum. She's got dribbly lines. That came out really wrong. You know what I mean though. Yeah. I have to be careful how I say that one. Now, again, she put sayings on there. She stamped her lines, but she's offset them. So she stamped it twice and only inked up the blue twice. Only inked up 2 on the blue. And then, again, like I say, dribbly lines. How cool is that? So it looks like her lines are dripping. But again, what I was saying about a masculine card, put a happy birthday or something on that. Perfect. Great bloke. But great bloke's card, that one. And then, oh, she has been busy. There you go. So that is the flower stamped onto a 6x6. So it just goes to prove you don't need to have a really big card for this to work on. You've got that lovely flower. She's got the lines in background. Coloured it in a traditional sunflower colours, sunflower shades. And then we've just got that little saying in the bottom. So simple, but beautiful. Again, got a bit of glossy. Well, a bit of glossy accents. It's not as raised on that one. There you go. It's me. I'm lifting it up. Sorry. Right, and then I think this is the last one of Mum's. Check this out. Sunflowers in the background. Yeah, just there in the background. Very faint. Nice background there. And then we've got our sunflower stamped. She's cut them all off without the dribbly bits. Yeah, no dribbly bits on this one. But she's done it out of one flower by the looks of it. Really cool idea, isn't it? But these look tiny. Absolutely tiny in comparison. Whoa. There we go. To that one. Yeah? It don't look like it's the same sunflower, does it? But it is. Sue's asking what we used to colour in. Anything that we have got. So I know Mum uses pro markers. I use my pens, my brushos, my distress inks, my oxides. I have got some, I wanted to say cucamelon pens, but they're not, the chameleon pens. So it is literally whatever you've got and whatever works for you. That's what we used to colour in. I hope that helps too. So yeah, there we go. Mum's is generally, like I say, pro markers, I think. There we go. Next one. So actually I'm going to put my next one to the bottom because I think it's my favourite. Though they're all, yeah, okay. Right, so I'm going to start simple. This one, you can see those lovely lines at the bottom. Really, really simple. They're just lined up. Now, I know where these are, but can you see where I've joined them up? Not easily, can you? It's near my thumb. It's right here. Yeah. But you can see how well they work together. You wouldn't know that join's there unless I pointed it out. And I'm guessing my other join's under here because I can't see it anywhere here. But you can see how they all work together really, really well. You could put a boat on that one, absolutely. It would look really cool, wouldn't it? A little boat sailing away, or a jet ski. Yeah. So that's that one, just with the saying on it. Brilliant. So you can see why those lines work by themselves. Evening, Pauline. And then there we go. A little 5x7, just stamped. That one's done with pencil crayon. Yeah, really simple. Really, really simple. But it looks quite effective, doesn't it? Yeah. That one. The next one, I actually got inspired. I think this was Alice's that I nicked this idea from. So, brusho splattered. Who says you have to spend hours colouring in? So all I've done with this one is splattered my brusho around. I used a pipette. It's easier to use a straw. Oh, excuse me. And just blew it out to the edges. So it's brusho, picked up in a pipette, and just splattered out there. Sorry, Margaret, I've got a bit of a croaky voice tonight. And then at the bottom we have got We're All Different, and that is beautiful. Yeah, but again, really quick and easy to use. You've got your brusho on there, and it is just so simple. And what I've also done on this one, don't know whether you can quite see where we've got our double line, because you know I like to double line, don't I? I've actually whited that out with my gel pen, and I think that just helps that flower pop to the front. Yeah, so it's there, it's big, it's bold. I think that is one of my favourites. Next up, yeah, this one was a bit simple. Really simple to do. So I've got a load, I don't know about you, I've got a load of coloured card that I don't really use these days, because you know me, I like to start with my white card and go from there. So this one is literally white card, stamped 2 in brown, and then coloured in with a white thingy pencil, watercolour pencil. That is it. That is all I've done on this one. But I think it looks really effective. Really simple, but really, really effective, that one. And you could do that with any colour though, couldn't you? So it would look great in blues, pinks, whatever. I think that's a really good one to use up your paper stash, because I've got, like I say, I've got mountains of colour paper that I just don't use anymore. I'm going to have another go doing one of them, I think. So there's that one. Next up, on our splatty one, all the colour was on the inside. So let's pop our colour on the side. So on this one, all I've done is I've just taken some marker pens and just added the colour around the edge. So again, we've got our little rainbow going on. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, green, blue, purple. Yep. Just going round, lots and lots of dots. It's literally a 5-minute make. Coloured it in with my gel pen, not my gel pen, charcoal pencil, and popped a sentiment on there. How simple. But I do think it looks really effective. I thought I was going to sneeze then. It went away. And then finally, this is an 8x8. As you can see, those flowers fit beautifully on it. I wasn't quite sure where I was going with on this one, so I just scrunched it up. Went with my brush out, grunged it up. So we have got lines in the background. Yep, stamped in both brush out and grey. And then we've got our flowers coloured in. Big, bold, bright colours. I keep going for this colour scheme at the moment. It's Gambeige and Alzarian Crimson. I think they just work really, really well together. There's that one. And then obviously a little bit of white doodling on there, I think. Yeah, just a little bit. Because we've got drops. Obviously you need your doodling on there. And that's it really. Really quite simple. Yeah. So, just going to pop these back. This one. But you can see, really versatile. I was going to say little stamp. It's not little, it's a huge, huge stamp. But there they are. Yep. Try and pick them up one at a time. There we go. We're getting closer. Absolutely paper pieces. I was actually wondering about fabric as well. That might be a little bit little for fabric. But I do think it would look quite nice. I think it'd look nice on pattern paper and then just coloured in, you know, like on a alphabet paper, coloured in as well. So that's all your samples. We'll just quickly run through what you got in your box. There we go. I'm at that point where I've got nowhere to put anything again. So in your box you got your discount card, you got your leaflet with all of my samples in. Again, they will be coming up on Facebook and YouTube over the next few weeks. You get your distress lines. You can see how they line up on the ends to make it longer, because that's important. You need to be able to stretch it out, don't you? And then on this one you get your big sunflower, and then you get your two lovely sentiments. Again, it's like the size of your hand. Well, my hand. Your hands may be bigger or smaller. But there you go. Right, so should we get playing? Let me put that up there as well. Ooh. Yeah, I just knocked everything off the shelf. Right, it's up there now, it's out the way. So I have cut out some 5x7. Yep. So should we go? I've got two ideas in my head at the moment. What time is it? We'll see. We'll see how quickly we can do these. One should be really, really quick. So we'll probably start with that one. Yes, I am going to use embossing powders. I know, shocker. But we are. Now, ideally, your stamp wants to be nice and clean for this. But that was never going to happen with my stamp, was it? Because we know my stamps are always filthy. That's going to go down in that bottom corner. I did want my white embossing powder. Where did it go? So ideally, I would use a nice what do you call it? Nice clear emboss. You could use your clear embossing powder for this, but mine is, my stamp's a tad dirty, so I am going to be using my white. Let me just check it is white. Oh yes. If I was sneezing before, I'm going to be sneezing more now. Let me just... It's my own fault. I was walking around and it was freezing cold with no shoes on. Yep, like you do. Right. There we go, let's just get that a bit off. Lynn's saying she can't see it all. Don't know. I am quite close in, so you can see what I'm doing. Right. Could be that. I can see it all on my computer screen. Maybe bob back out, Lynn, and come back in if that makes sense. And see if it's just how it's loaded. So, anti-static bag. You guys know how to emboss better than me. Yep. Yep. Because you know me and embossing, we don't always go hand in hand. But I'm giving it a whirl because I think this will look really cool. So you know how to emboss way better than I can explain it. Because I'm not that grand at embossing, am I? Right, I had some yaki on my thingy. So let's get this inked up really, really well. Remember, it is a massive stamp. I'm going to say this a lot. It is a massive stamp. So the key to getting it to stamp well is making sure you ink it well. So work through it methodically. Make sure you remove any bits that shouldn't be there. Yes, that's a bit of tissue there and a little bit there. I did try and clean it before we started. So make sure every bit that shouldn't be there isn't there, or else you're going to ink that up as well. And just take your time. Come on, there we go. It would be naughty. So make sure you ink it up well. I'll roll my sleeves up so I don't end up putting it in things I don't want it to go in. Now, I could have been a bit more economical with my ink and actually thought about the bit that was going to be stamped, but you know. Nicola's just like, you know, said what we might be doing. Close anyway. So yes, we're going to emboss it and then we're going to add some ink to it. But I hadn't quite decided which inks we're going to use yet. I was going to do it in the bottom corner, but if I slid it round, it'll be top corner, won't it? Ooh. See, I always like to change things at the very last minute. Ink keeps things interesting. Yeah, you don't want it. You know, don't want to make life easy, do you? You want to keep it interesting at the last minute. There you go. Just give yourself time. Make sure you rub all the bits. It's no good pressing out here. Yeah, doesn't it get full marks? Yeah, okay. I'll give you credit for that one. And just make sure you press everywhere that is on the design. There we go. My hands are going, I've had a week off. I know, you should be working well, shouldn't your hands? There we go. So I used a tinted. What I love about the tinted ones is you can kind of tell if it's inked up well or not. Because sat here, I'm gibbering and I should be putting my thingy on. But I don't know if you can quite see with the tinted one, you get like a little pinkish tint. Yeah, you can see where your ink is or isn't. So you know whether to continue at this point or not. So I'm just going to poke your eyes out for a second with my embossing powders. There we go. And this is the off-white, so it's not, it's never going to be white, it's our antique white. I love that creamy kind of texture, and of course the smell. I'll put that on there. So far so good. I think we're all sat there with your arms crossed. Not arms crossed, fingers crossed. Do we get this to work? Hi, Susie. Yeah, so we're just going to let this melt. Which is great fun to watch. Oh, see? It's going. Just work your way around really slowly. Slowly is the only way you can go into it when you're heating, embossing something. Now, if this was white, it'd be even more impressive, but because I've gone with a cream, it's going to look a bit distressed, which is what I like. The only downside is I can't doodle on my drops. That's rude, isn't it? Really? Right. I think I've done it. I think so. Oh, you're brave embossing in school, Nicola. Oof. I'd be lethal. I emboss on my own table at home normally. Right, so we did say we would do some brush out. I'm rolling my sleeves up now. So, brush out time. I think, decisions. I'm not good with decisions today at all. What should we go with? Should we go with a bit of blue or a bit of purple? Ooh. One at a time embossing. Oh. No. Me embossing is stressful enough, doing it with little ones. Well, to be fair, Crafty Bear has a good go at it. But we do like to make a mess, so. Bit of tidying up and your desk would never feel the same. Oh. It's just, I think it's the anti-static pad. I don't know about you, but I get it everywhere. Look, it's all over the place. And it makes your hands feel a bit weird. It's just me. I do love the embossed look though. I do love embossing. And those of you that do it well, I am in total awe of. So, I think, whilst I'm jabbering, I am also thinking, should we go, oh no, I was going to go ultramarine. However, because I can't make my mind up between blue or purple, I think we're going to go violet, if I can find a violet. I'm just having a quick rummage in my box. And it's not there, rude. It's got to be on my desk then. Yeah, that's not going to get found if it's on my desk, is it? No, because it's in the other box over there. There we go. Right. So I'm trying to decide. I think what we're going to go with is, I know it sounds like a duck. It's rebelling, it's going, no, no, no. How's happy sat on your desk for a week doing nought? So we're going to start dropping some water in. Oh, I should have made sure my brush was clean. It's not as bad as it has been in the past when I've done that. There we go. And then we're going to drop a little bit of brush on my table. I did that next to my water, not on top of it. I know it probably looked like I was popping it inside. Oh, crimson. Absolutely crimson and gamboge. So it's always gamboge when I'm playing. You must have go-to colours though when you're playing that you know they're like your colours, like your special bit, your special place. I'm just adding my water. You can see I'm not even trying to paint, I'm just kind of splatting it. Technical, I know, very, very technical. Just like that. And it looks like I'm not putting any colour down at all. I am. And remember, because I've embossed it, I really don't want to be adding any more. I don't want to be drying it anymore. Otherwise you'll end up with overcooked embossing powder, and nobody likes overcooked embossing powder. So I'm just going in now with basically, if you look, I've got my hand there, you have to see it a bit better. Come on, into focus for me. I've basically got, so if it's focused on my hand, rude. You have to do it over there. Oh, you still can't see it. There you go. I've got raw brush on the end of my brush. Yep, that's all I've done. I picked up raw brush and I'm just dropping it into the water where I just want a little bit of darkness. Yeah, so all we've done, splatted some water on and then started to add a little bit of our gamboge. See, that's looking alright, isn't it? There we go. So I'm going to get cleaned up and then we're going to do exactly the same. Well, I'm not going to get cleaned up actually. I'm going to clean my brush up. Now, Nicola's saying crimson. My only concern with crimson is I go from lovely colour to murder-scene in a moment, which is where I tend to use Alzarian crimson because it's less murder-scene, more pretty. So we could go to Alzarian crimson. Yeah, should we do that? I'm going to do exactly the same again. So let's pop some Alzarian crimson. I'm going to put a little bit more on because we do use for brush show we do use quite a lot doing it this way, because all this bit where it's really intense is actually raw brush show I'm picking up. So normally we don't use much brush show, but for doing it like this you do tend to use a little bit more than what you normally would. So we're just going to start pulling our colour. Sorry, we're just going to start pulling it down. So we might pick up a bit of this gamboge and make it come down with us. That's fine. See, like there. But that is fine. And there's no right or wrong. You might decide you want to paint it perfect. That's fine too. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the pink, really watered down though this time. Just start to add it in. When I said really watered down, I meant a bit more than that. There we go. Start just splatting it into. Need a bit more water over it, thank you. And drop it. And you know what? If you notice, when you splat it in, it'll only go to where you've wet before. Yeah? So you splat it in and it does virtually all the work for you because it's mixing with that lovely gamboge. Yeah. And then we come back and we're going to pick up some of our raw brush out and we're going to pop it here. And guess what? It's mixing and merging again for us. Very kind, isn't it? It does that for me. Just coming in again. Just realised we're going to have to do a bit more outside because otherwise we're going to lose the edges, aren't we? Yep, again, I'm just bringing our brush in. And you can start to see those lovely. Oh no, I was about to say we'll go outside the lines with our brushing, but we won't because we'll grab a blue or something, just a very pale outline. So again, I'm just going to do the same now. I know I've got pink on my brush, but it's fine. Splatting down that water. Again, just splatting it down. I'm not being very neat or tidy, we are just splatting. I am cheating a little bit because I am using this already mixed brushing. So just add our colour. And let's go back to our raw. And let's just drop it in, and then it does all the work for you. You don't have to do anything more. It's just going to go and mix and merge. Ooh, look at that. That really went for it, wasn't it? Yeah, it went for it. No, Sue, it's not watercolour. I use 30 GSM White Wove from Jelly Bean. Or sometimes it's 350 GSM. And the reason I don't use watercolour card is sometimes I feel like I'm fighting it. So don't get me wrong, I do love watercolour card. However, it doesn't always let me do what I want to do with it. Yeah? So I always work with the same card. So I know basically how it's going to react to stuff. So 300 GSM White Wove. It's really good. It lets your inks move around. There is a little bit of buckling going on at the moment, but to be fair, I am throwing so much water at this right now that even watercolour card would be going, ugh. You could use watercolour card, absolutely. Again, what you're comfortable using, what you're used to using, I would always advise you use. Which sounds odd, doesn't it? But I'd rather you be comfortable with what you're using, because you know how that's going to respond. But I personally like the 300 GSM White Wove from Jelly Bean. It's pretty cheap as well, which is always a good thing, because I do go through mountains of it. To be fair, you've just reminded me as well that I do need to get another box. There you go. Nicholas saying Gav's lovely. I'll tell him you said that. He is lovely, get this eye, Gav. I don't see him as often as I used to, but he's a good lad. He's at Birmingham as well, I know that. I'm trying to think where else he goes. There we go. It's so relaxing, isn't it? Just let it glide. And to be fair, watercolour card won't let it move quite as much as this is, because this is kind of sitting on top, making a bit of a puddle, which normally you'd be going, ah, it's puddling. Whereas at the moment we're going, ooh, it's puddling. That's nice. Ooh. There you go. Big mistake. Let's retreat a little bit. So just make a little point on your tissue and just mop it up. And look, no one would know that I did a whoopsie. There you go. He's a good egg. He's a good egg. So you can see it's still a bit dark. I'm not liking. So I'm just adding a bit more water, and then we're just going to go with our tissue. Ah, look, it's worked. We go with this one as well. Now I'm getting a bit obsessed here, aren't I? But there you go, done. No one would know I got a bit heavy-handed. Let's turn again. And then literally this is now really watery, really muted, mixed, diluted, that's the word I was looking for. I get there in the end. And we've made it right to the end. Just put my hand in my gamboge, but I'll recover. It's not like it's going to hurt me, is it? Look a bit more. you go. And then by now this bit here is going to be drying. Yeah, so if I wanted to, I could start now going and buffing anything that's on top of my embossing powder. Yeah, because if you look, I don't know if it'll quite come through on camera. There you go. Can you see I've got gamboge sat on top of it? So all I need to do is wait for it to dry. I'm not hitting it with my heat gun again because I don't want to over melt me embossing powder. Yeah. And then once it's dry, I might just do a little bit of buffing. You know, take a nice clean tissue and just give it a bit of a rub-ski. Sort it out. Right. So I'm done with my pink. I'm done with my yellow. Look at that. Oh, there you go, you can see it now, can't you? So I'm just going to clean my paintbrush off. I found my tub actually the other day, my little travel pot. Well, by the other day I meant about a week and a half ago. So I'll put that close by. And I haven't. Right, so now I want a bit of a blue, a really pale, like virtually not there blue around the edge, because at the moment, yes, it looks quite pretty, but you're not getting the outline and you're definitely not getting your drippage. Yeah, so we want to sort that out. So I just want a little blue. I'm looking at the blues that are on my desk at the moment and I'm not quite liking. They're a bit dark for a blue, if that makes sense. So we're going to go for our turquoise. See, I did want to use turquoise before, didn't I? That's it. What colour is the embossing powder? It's the antique white, you know, the stinky stuff. So I'm popping a little bit down here, I don't know if you can quite see it. And I'm going to do exactly the same as what we've done all along. I'm going to have a nice puddle of clean water-ish water, cleanish water. And then we're just going to start again. So I'm going to start here where it's a little bit fiddly and then work on to where I can go to my drippages and things. So just be careful you don't go, because obviously this bit's dry, isn't it now? So I'm just going to come in. Ooh, I've still got a bit of my pink on my brush. Can you see that? It's just ever so slightly. Just going to keep. And I'm not painting now, we are now in total Splatsville, just. Oh, maybe I should have a bit of icy for them. See if I can turn it. Can't do two things at once. I've never been any good on that one. See, it's going again. There we go, let's see if I can turn that off. Move it from there. 1 second. There you go. Hopefully you won't hear it as badly down there. So all I want to do is make sure this is as diluted as possible. So I'm just adding it to the water. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. It's a teeny tiny little bit of blue. And it's going to fill that puddle, but we're going to go back like we did with our pink. So near our flower, it's going to be darker, and then further away, it's going to be paler. Again, nothing is, it's me, so nothing is complicated, honestly. Just like that. And actually this has got a bit of a pinkish tinge to it, because it's going a bit darker than I wanted it to, but it'll be fine. If you notice as well, I use a flat-ended parent brush just because I find it's easier to go into your nooks and your crannies. If you've got a pointed one, I can't control a pointed one quite as much as I can with a flat-ended one. Depending on what I'm doing. Ooh, that's starting to look alright, isn't it? Hey. I might be alright with this this one. Right, so I'm going to pick it up a bit more. Just keep going. So therapeutic though. So lovely. That's gone in a bit dark, but that's okay. It's gone in a bit dark. We just flatten it out a bit longer, a bit further, and a bit further. And can you see here I've got a bit of pink brush show right in the way? Don't know if you can quite see it. Just underneath that splodge. Got a teeny tiny blob of pink. But that's okay, because guess what? When we hit it with water again, it's just going to mix in. Again, just got a few little... Now you don't want to be straight lining it, do you? That's why I splatter, so you get these unusual effects. Yeah. It look a bit odd once it going around something like this in a straight line. Okay, remember you've got your droplets coming down. I'm going to go back so it doesn't... Oh, excuse me. So it doesn't start to dry. Because the worst thing is if you come back to it and it's dry. Yeah? I've not played like this with brush out in ages. In forever. Again, just picking up my raw. I'm getting carried away as well. You can tell, can't you? I feel like, oh dear, my pinky's got a bit wet. I feel like my drippage needs a bit of pink in it as well. So we might go back to our pink, hence why I didn't get rid of it, because we might just want that little bit of pink. Or can I do it with blue? No, I think it needs to be the pink, doesn't it? Right, let's keep going. Just a little bit more. We're nearly there. Right, thank goodness. Thank goodness. There you go. I've ended up smudging that a bit too much. You can tell I've got a bit too much of the brush out on my brush, if that makes sense. I've got more brush out than water. Yeah, there we go. There we go, nearly there. Again, I can't express how wet the card is right now. Actually, I'll be able to show you in a minute. Because if we turn it over, you'll know straight away how wet this is. Yep. Again, start where you started from, because it is going to be drying, even on this card where it likes. Ooh, that's a bit dark, isn't it? I got carried away. Tell you what is good as well, if you mess up with your brush show, get a little, you know, the cotton buds for your ears. Even though I know you're not supposed to put them in your ears. Get them. They are brilliant for taking away little spots of colour and things like that. Just a bit too dark. That's better, isn't it? Look at that. Not very wet though. And this is where, just be careful you don't splodge your card right into your brush show. Yes, I have been there and done that quite a few times. And if you notice, I'm always checking as well before I pop it on my card just how dark it's going to come out. There we go, just let it run. It's starting to dry on that side. There we go. Oh, too much. Nearly. few little dots in here. Oh, excuse me. I told you it's embossing powder, isn't it? I'm not wearing shoes, I know. My own fault. It was a bit chilly. Right, so where are we at? Quite liking it actually. It's starting to come together. Ooh, I'm yawning now. Oh, thank you, Noella. There has been some good makes in the group. I've not done a weekly winner, have I yet? I'll have to get that done. Get our weekly winner picked for this week. Right, I'm thinking. You can tell, you can hear those cogs turning, can't you? I've got a choice here. Well, one, I know I want to splatter with my blue. Just have a few little drops coming around here. At the moment, to me, it looks a little bit daft that I've got a drippage coming off my flower that hasn't got pink tinge to it. But this is the point where it can go from looking pretty nice to dog's dinner. So I'm not sure if I'm being brave or stupid with my next move, but it's still a move and I'm going to do it. So I am. I'm just going to take a little blob of pink. Let's go slowly first, shall we? I'm very conscious I'm going to put a mark on here. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, we do. We do. We want this bit. Wasn't sure, but we do. And we're not going to do too much because that would be silly at this point in time. I'm almost trying to dry brush with a wet brush, if that makes sense. So can you see just those little drops on my little blobs? My drops on my blobs, that sounds really awful, doesn't it? You know what I mean. And again, this is where when you come back, when this is dry, you're going to come back, you're going to grab a little tissue and you're just going to rub it ever so gently where you know you've got brush over just stuck on top. You could have done this with your watercolour pens, you could have paints even do. You could have done it with your watercolour crayons. Could have done it with your what are they called? What's it called? Gelatos. You know the ones I mean. There, see? Little teeny tiny little hint, but we've done it. Because you wouldn't have a pink flower dripping and not have little bits of the colour dripping with it. Right, so decision time. Are we having a little bit of splatter? We are. I'm going to pick up a little bit of my pink. I'm going to go for it just a little gentle splatter with my pink. Oh, that's not gentle. There we go. So that's my pink. And now is my blue going to be? Oh, too dark, too dark. Reverse, reverse. So all I'm doing, flicking with my finger, like splatterage. There we go. Perfect. Right, I'm just going to clean up my desk. I'm not going to touch it. Like I keep saying, we do not heat this again. We have used embossing powder. We don't want to overcook it. I'm trying to think of a good cooking analogy, but you don't want to overbake your brownie. There we go. Been there, done that. Had to throw away the pan. Come on, let's clean it up. Oh, I don't even know what that is there, but get your desk desk nice and tidy. Remember, if you're doing this on your desk with your brush over, just make sure you give your desk a real good clean down, because it does go everywhere. There we go. Lovely. See? Nearly clean anyway. Clean enough. So, sentiment time, isn't it? Sentiment time. We need some card. I think there's a piece there just poking out. There might be. See? It's like it was meant to be. We want that one. And then we've got our two lovely sayings, which are, today's struggle will be tomorrow's strength, and we are all different. And that's beautiful. I think I'm going to go with a different one. Yeah, I do. That was my tummy grumbling, sorry. Right, there we go. I've got ink all over that as well. So tidy off the ooh, I do apologise, I keep yawning at you. Got to admit, it was a really busy week. Yeah, Nicola's said it again. We should have kept some colour to splatter me sentiment. But in not keeping any, it makes the sentiment jump out, doesn't it? But yeah, I do agree with you. We probably should have kept some colour, the splatterage on the sentiment. See, you're on the ball tonight, Nicola. There we go. I'm just going to stamp this. It's only teeny tiny. Well, I would stamp it if it looked like I'd actually put any ink on it. And can you see here, I have got ink everywhere. I've been a very messy inker-upperer. And all that's going to do is when I come to stamp it, it's going to go in the wrong place, isn't it? I really don't want that. So, wipe it off before you stamp it. Otherwise it's going to go on your card. Or on your fingers, and then that's how you get inky pinkies in the wrong place. There we go. See if I did ink it up properly. Oh no, that's even worse. Let's try that again. Let's see if I've got a juicier ink pad, because it wasn't giving me that kissing noise I like to hear. I'm not sure it is my one that's running out, to be fair. Oh, come on. To be fair, it's not been inked. It's not been used in a week, has it? So there we go. Let's see if I can put my black on there. No, it's grey. Rude. Rude again. Ooh. Just make sure you put your glass down flat. We had a spillage there. Haha, there's one. There's two. Right. I can't remember where I put my juicy inks, so let's do this one. That's better. I can see it's actually going on. There we go, see? Now on this one, you hear me talking about it all the time. You've got your wiggly woggly text, which is you're different and you're beautiful. So you've got no chance of lining that up. What you are lining up against is that we are all, the bottom of that is flat, and that's got a flat bottom. So if you're trying to line this stamp up, that is what you want to eyeball to be straight. See the difference the ink makes when it's actually got some ink in it. Good juicy ink. There we go. The reason I dried that is because when I come to put it in my guillotine in a second, my little chomper womper thing. I don't know if this one is a guillotine, isn't it? Because it slices. Not a cutter. There we go. There's that one. Oh, that's cut like a dog's hind leg, isn't it? Oh, that should be alright. I'm going to make another mat for it. Oh, perfect. Almost like it was meant to be. Pop that in there like so. Make sure it's not too... Oh, it is. Look at that. That's terrible. I tried to be clever and use the lines on the guillotine. But I'm so much better when I do things by eye rather than measuring. There we go. Right, so that's going to go there like so. And to be fair, I think I'm just going to mat it onto white. I don't think it needs a backing on it at all. I'm going to be very careful because it is wet, and you can tell how wet it is. Oh, it's not come through. Look, there's all like pits on the back of it. I was expecting that on the back of it to be really, really like coloured. It's not at all, which is lovely. And then that is just going to come down here like that. So I'm not going to move it lots because there's some dottage behind it. There you go. It can go straight like that. There we go. I'm quite impressed with that. Originally I was just going to throw some colour at it, and then I started painting and thought, nah, this is more fun. I think we're going to just go with painting tonight, and I think it's worked really well. Well, when I'm being generous when I call it painting, because painting is not what I did then. I just splattered water at it and dropped ink into it, and it did the work itself. So it isn't my painting ability, you see. It's brush show and how wonderful it is to work with. So what did we do? We clear embossed and then put white embossing powder, oh, gone off white embossing powder on, heat set it, and then we started painting using our brush show. So we splatted a load of water on and then just let the paint do its work. Look at all these different tones we've got going on in the centre there. So we did our yellow, we did our pink, and then we did the blue on the outside. Done a little bit of splattering, and then just a sentiment at the bottom. Sounds like we've not done much, but I've had fun. Yeah. Right, so that is tonight's make. I'm actually going to find some embossing foam pads and stick that all together before I lose it. So quick recap then. That is our new muslin make. In your make box you should have got a card, your leaflet, Bold and Beautiful. I've forgotten what I'd called it then. I think it's called Bold and Beautiful. You've got our lovely lines that we didn't get to use tonight, but we will use them. And then you get your still can't say it, Sunflower Beauty. Yeah. So that is what you get in your monthly make this month. So I hope, phone's going for it again. I hope you've enjoyed that. Maybe I could pull that one back in for a second. I've had fun. I have had fun with that one. So that is it from me tonight. Must find my mouse, it is driving me crackers. That is it for me tonight. We are back on Hobby Maker on Monday. I think it's 2 and 4. We'll confirm that though. And then the following Sunday we're up in the northeast at Bolden Community Centre, I think it's called, for one of the Terry Ross shows. So we will be up that way. I think Gav will be there as well. He normally is. So that's it. We have TV Monday, and then we're up in the northeast a week on Sunday. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you're loving your new monthly make kit. It is. It wasn't meant to be this month's make. I had another one ready to go, and then at the last minute it's like, nah, actually I want to send out the sunflower. So that is why you got this one this month. So I hope you are enjoying it. I hope you are liking it. I do. While saying love it, would you ever stamp the sentiment onto the card? Absolutely, you could do. The reason I didn't is because, well, they're not actually. I was expecting these still to be wet. So yes, absolutely stamp it. Oh, you can't see that bit, can you? Okay, if I hold it up, if you notice, oh no, you're not going to see that. I've got glareage. Right. Anyway, down in this bottom. Oh, you can't even do it there. Look there. I've got spots. Yeah. I was expecting them still to be wet. They're not actually, because they're not moving when I touch them. So I didn't want to stamp over something wet. So I went with stamping it onto a piece of card. The other reason I generally stamp onto a piece of card is because if I get it wrong, it's known to happen. It's not on my card, even though I know I could matte and layer over the top of it, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm just not brave enough to stamp straight onto my card. That's it, I said it. I'll admit it. So yeah, there you go. Hope that answered your question, Val. So yeah, that's it from me. Hope you're enjoying your monthly make. We will be back. We won't be back next Monday because I'll still be travelling back from TV, so we'll probably do it next Wednesday. Oh, actually, we could do it Thursday. Thursday would work. I'll let you know. So yeah, TV next week. We've got some new personalised stamps coming out. Some really nice little designs actually coming out for that. And then up in North East the week after. So everyone has a lovely evening. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.